We're here at the Red Pill Expo with Robert Kiyosaki. He's authored a number of books, and he is a very successful investor. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your speech. So tell us a little bit about what you think is the most important thing that people could be doing now for this cause of the red pill idea.
I really don't know. I mean, it's the whole idea of the red pill is to open your eyes and to find out what's really going on. I had no idea what this program was about. Just because I like Ed Griffin, I like the creature from Jekyll Island. And I showed up with no expectation. And I would say it was deeply disturbing. It's what I can't say I suspected it, but I really knew something was wrong, that there was something I could not see. And so with the red pill, as it promised, just takes the blinders off of your eyes. And all the different speakers had a different point of view on what's really going on, and that we're being lied to. It's plain and simple, being lied to, being ripped off, and life is not as it seems. So the great America, I was a Marine pilot in Vietnam and all that, the great America I thought I fought for is really not there anymore. It's an illusion.
So what do you think we can do to recover that America? I mean, is there something we can do as individuals?
I'm not one of those guys, my whole shtick with Rich Dad, Poor Dad is the question is, what does school teach us about money? And the answer is nothing. And you have to ask yourself, why is that? Because, rich or poor, smart or stupid, we all use money. Our country is going broke because we're led by a bunch of thieves. Why is it every politician goes into office poor, comes out rich? That's suspect. Why is the national debt in the trillions? Why does Wall Street and the Federal Reserve run the show? Why is it when the economy crashes, the rich get bailed out and the taxpayer pays for it? I mean, those are questions a person has to ask. And exactly as this Red Pill Expo exposed, is that not only true in just economic areas, it's in medicine. Why is our health care so expensive it bankrupts people? Why are our students going to school, coming out with student loan debt, and then not able to pay it off? What's really going on? And so what a person should do, in my opinion, is exactly as this program talks about, you ever find something that you might want to work on? With me, it's always money. I teach people all over the world what our school system will never teach us about money. And, the more advanced programs I teach is, everybody says get out of debt, but the U.S. dollar is debt. You know what I mean? It's an IOU from the taxpayer. Mm-hmm. And the average person doesn't know that. They say the average person in America today is $400 away from bankruptcy. And then all they need is one catastrophic health cause, and they're bankrupt. We have baby boomers right now. They have nothing. Our 401ks, IRAs, the state pension plans are bankrupt. And that's what I look at. How in the world can CalPERS, which is the largest public pension in America, why is it bankrupt? And what are all those California public servants going to do when they retire? Who's going to pay for them? So I think everybody has a piece of the action here, and there's something everybody would be interested in. Mine is always money. Mm-hmm. I just don't know why we don't teach kids about money.
Well, it would be good if more of the people in this freedom movement had money. So that's a really interesting thing. What's just a real quick piece of advice you can give people on how to be more successful? I mean, what's a short and sweet recipe, if there is such a thing?
You got to answer that for yourself. For most people, it's go to school and get a job, mm-hmm. and that's financial suicide. There's the robots are coming, artificial intelligence is coming. That means we don't need radiologists anymore. We don't need attorneys anymore. So suddenly this idea of UI, universal income, is coming into play. Mm-hmm. So what you're seeing is the great American dream. These people are going to be on government welfare. And these are highly educated people. So that's like my poor dad, PhD. He was broke. He had no idea about money. And my rich dad was a man without any education, became a very rich man. So I just decided to follow in my rich dad's footsteps. And he just taught me about money playing Monopoly. It's quite simple. And when people ask me, what is financial education? It's really about the control of your wealth. And right now, everybody just gives it back to the government. Mm-hmm. You go to a job, you give it to the government through taxes. They suck it out of your paycheck. And for most people, their 401k or their retirement or their student loans. And Americans are just going broke because the people who lead our country are just putting vacuum cleaners in our pockets. So that's why, Donald Trump is my friend. We've written 2 books together, and people get angry at him for not paying taxes. Well, I remember from elementary school that America was founded on a tax revolt, the Boston Tea Party. And now everybody thinks paying taxes is patriotic. And all taxes do is suck it out of your paycheck before you get it. And if you like that, then just keep doing the same thing. I remember when my first job, so what happened to the money? Well, the government took it from you. And I'm really concerned about the corruption of our judicial system, the FBI, the CIA, and who are we anymore? Are we a police state? I wonder, and that's what the red pill kind of brought to mind. Are we a police state? Is it Gestapo? What is going on? How come black people get shot and nothing happens to them, and why do white people get shot, nothing happens to them? Why are police forces driving armored vehicles? And they tell us it's our own good. But as a former U.S. Marine who flew in Vietnam, this is not the country I fought for. And I think our education system is basically socialist or communist. That it's the Robin Hood, take from the rich and give to the poor, everybody should be equal and all this. That's not capitalism. I am a capitalist. So the red pill really disturbed me.
And one last question. I know you talked a little bit about the corrupt monetary system. So, how did you get an understanding of that? And do you have any thoughts on what we might do to get out of this mess?
Well, I don't think we have to worry about it. It's going to collapse pretty soon. And I'm afraid for my fellow baby boomers, it's the end of the line for them. Their 401ks, IRAs will probably be wiped out. I hope it doesn't happen, but it might. But then over here, all these guys with Bitcoin and all this other stuff, people are just creating their own monetary systems, which I think is funny. But it was in Vietnam I became a gold bug. When my rich dad sent me a letter saying, hey, watch the price of gold. So within 1 year, it went from $35 to $72. I went, what's going on? What's going on? And then I still remember I wrote the story about I'm watching the price of gold, and I was watching this little Vietnamese woman, and I tried to give her a US dollar for some fruit, like mangoes or something in Vietnam, and she wouldn't take the dollar. She says she wants gold. And I went, she's not an educated woman, obviously she's a peasant, but she doesn't want the dollar, she wanted gold. And she was one of my best teachers. I said, you better wake up. So today I have millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars of gold. And that's my answer to the corrupt US dollar. All the purchasing power of the dollar has come down this far. And these so-called financial experts in our newspapers tell us, oh, financial literacy is saving money. Are you nuts? Are you nuts? Why would you save money? In the U.S., interest rates are at 2%. Inflation is going at 5%. So that means you're losing 3%. And on top of that, the government's printing more and more money, and we'll have to continue to print more money to pay our debt off. So why would you save money? You got to meet so many parents, I'm saving money. And I say to save, that's why I said in Rich Dad, Poor Dad, savers are losers. Why would you save money? That's crazy. Or your house is not an asset. In 2007, millions of people lost their houses because of the Federal Reserve Bank and our monetary system wiped them out. These things called CDOs, collateralized debt obligations, are derivatives. And today, in 2008, $700 million. No, $700 billion in derivatives fired off. Warren Buffett calls derivatives weapons of mass financial destruction. So in 2008, 700 billion fired off. Today, the U.S. is sitting on 1.2 quadrillion in derivatives. The next crash is going to push us into a depression. That's what's going to happen. I hope it doesn't happen, but that's the worst case scenario. And people are still sending their kids to school, saving money, trying to get out of debt and buying a house and calling their house an asset, their car an asset. We're the most naive country in the world. So that's what I write. And I do my best, like the red pill says, is to kind of wake people up. But it's not an easy task.